Hi everyone, I'm Bianca Valerio and welcome to another episode, or I don't really want to call this an episode because this is a special segment in the website. While I know I always talk about travel, but I've also always believed that travel is so much more than just stepping on an airplane or boarding a ship. You are really stepping out of your comfort zone. You are feeling, you're doing, you're seeing things for the first time that you don't want to do, but you push yourself because you know it's part of growing. It's part of evolving. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is something I'm going through right now, and it's the stages of grief. I even forgot what it was called, but it's stages of grief, and there are actually 5 stages. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because I realized that grief is so unique to different people. And while it's very unique to me, I think there are some commonalities that some of us, for you who've lost a loved one, that we can all share. And I wanted to share, I wouldn't say tips, but a word of advice on how you can console someone who has lost a loved one in order to be a little more sensitive, be a little more considerate, okay? So first things first, you shouldn't tell someone how to feel. Case in point, don't tell someone, you need to be strong, okay? First of all, think about it. When you have a problem and you tell someone about it, sometimes you're not really looking for a solution. Why? Because you already know the solution deep inside. And what you really need is just someone to be there beside you. Sometimes not saying anything at all is the best response. Just being there, holding their hand, patting their back, and just saying, I'm here if you need me. That's all you need to say. But I think to tell someone what to do, what to feel, because me, when somebody told me you need to be strong for your parents, it was almost like someone was telling me, don't cry, suck it up. You can't be sad because life has to move on. And while I know that everyone who has told me or you to be strong means well, their intention is good, but if you just really think about it, it's a little bit insensitive. So if I were you, if you really wanted to say something consoling, just say, I'm sorry for your loss, or I'm here if you need me, or anything resembling to that. So what are the stages of grief? First is denial. Now, a lot of people, when they see, for example, me, I've seen people in wakes, or I don't know what other religions call it, but let's say when somebody loses a loved one and they're in mass and they seem to be holding it together, and they're so strong, they're so civilized in the way they look, and you have to admire them, and you think, wow, she's going through so much and yet she's so strong. Now that I'm going through this, I realize, don't you think maybe that person was still in shock? That person was still in denial, and that person hasn't really processed everything that they're feeling. So I think while it's very human nature of us to try and stereotype and try and label people on the phases that they're going through, try not to do that. And try not to say things, wow, you've really got it together. You're such a rock star. You're so strong. I wish I'm like that if I go through a loss. It's like, please don't do that. Once again, silence is golden. And now the second stage, I actually learned this from one of the people who works in our family business. Her name's April Del Carmen, and she said that there are 5 stages. So we went with denial. It's DABDA, D-A-B-D-A. So after denial is anger. I was in anger for quite a while, and everything that anyone said to console me irritated me. And you know what? It made me feel terrible because I'm thinking, I'm not this person. I'm not an angry person. I'm supposed to be grateful that people are consoling me, but I'm so effing angry. And I know that I'm angry, or you would be angry because of the loss, but instead we project that anger to other people because we want someone to blame. And you know what? That's absolutely normal. I realize that going through grief is like going through a breakup. And if you've ever had your heart broken, of course you will be angry. Oh my God, why did I even deal with a guy like that? Or why did I waste 10 years with that person? And so on and so forth. It's the same thing, though in varying degrees, but it pretty much is the same. When you're angry, you want to blame. So if you're feeling that, it is a normal process of grief. And then from anger, we get to bargaining, right? Dab. And at first, I didn't really know what bargaining was until I actually went through it and somebody says, that's it. So bargaining is when you say things like, why him? Why my brother? Why not me? Why now? He's so young. He was so strong. Or why not me? Because so on and so forth. And you will keep arguing with yourself, with God, with the world. You will even maybe, no matter how religious you can be, you will question. I swear to God, but you will question. Because why? And you will think it is so unfair and I don't understand. And that is bargaining. And I had actually just finished my period of bargaining, and in fact mine was, I'll be honest, my brother was the only son and he was the eldest, and I always thought, I have another sister and I'm the youngest, so I thought there's already a boy and there's a girl and I'm like the extra, why take the only boy and leave two girls? So yeah, maybe I'm still in the bargaining stage. Who knows? But bear with me, people. So that is the next. The next one is depression. And I've heard stories from people that in this stage, if you don't get out of it, it can be very dangerous and it can be a very, very bad place to be in for obvious reasons. And so while it's good to honor your feelings, while it's good to accept and cry it out, I've learned from this experience because I did not want to cry. I didn't want my daughter to see me weak because I'm always crying, but I realized that you need to cry. Why? You're sad. And if you're sad, you cry. You let it out. So today I woke up and I just feel really empty, like really sad, and just, people think that I have this great life, that everything is so perfect and everything is just wonderful. And you know what? It is. It is. Not because it's perfect, but because I know the value of things. I know the value of experiences. I know the value of people. And I just miss my brother. Like, you would think I'm traveling and, I should be so happy because I'm away, I'm bonding with my family. And that was the whole point of this trip, actually. This trip was meant to be for the whole family, but then because my brother passed away, we decided not to, at least initially, we decided not to pursue with it, because you think of travel, it's celebrating, right? It's a happy time. And then up until the final minute, my parents decided that it should be a trip for my daughter, my sister, and I, as a way to bond and as a way to heal. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy. But like, you're happy now, and then you go back home and it's still the same. He's not gonna be there. So you must be asking, why am I recording this? Because I want you guys to see that my life is not perfect. That even if on social media that it looks that way, but it's not. Okay, I need to go. I find that crying is therapy. It is a release. You are letting something out. And whatever sadness, whatever pain, whatever, anything negative, toxic, anything that needs to be released, you need that in order to be whole again. And if tears will do that for you, then let it be healing. Accept that crying is not weakness. It is just a part of healing. It is a process, like I said. It is a step-by-step process that you must go through. So after depression, obviously I have not gone to the last step, which is acceptance. And just like any breakup or any heartache or any loss that you may feel, finally, at least I know what a heartbreak is like, or a breakup. One day I'm okay now. You move on. And though there's things you don't forget, but you learn to just move forward and charge it to experience, as they say. With this situation, I I don't know how I'm going to charge it to experience, but it is definitely one of the most humbling experiences that I would never wish on anyone. But I think if you are part of a family, as we all are, at one point in your life, you will have to go through it. So whether you go through it yourself or a loved one is going through it, the best you can really say is just, I'm sorry. To be honest, I don't even like condolence. I don't even really know what that means. I don't find warmth in it. Again, that's just me. So I just always say, I'm so sorry for your loss, because I am. You are sorry because you're sad. And you know what a loss is like. Whether you lose your most precious jewelry or your dog passed away, a loss is a loss. And we are allowed to grieve. We are allowed to mourn. So you, as a supportive person, you should be able to give that permission to a person to grieve. They have the right to. And that is how you support them. That is how you show love. Okay, guys, this is the very first motivational post I wanted to share. I've been wanting to share it with you, but I really wanted to do it at a time where I've sort of progressed in my steps of the grieving process. And I know that sharing this with you is helping me heal as well. So anyway, I'm Bianca Valerio, and I'm wishing you love, light, and much peace. Until next time, come away with me on this journey inward the soul.